unfortunately nowadays it's very hard to get. And if you have a good shaykh who has adillah, evidences, then the best thing for awam to go to their shiur. Right? But if the shiur are doing something that's against adillah, they're telling you eat at Burger King or whatever like this, then obviously you cannot take those opinions. Alaykum as-salam.
The 5 daily prayers, what's the significance behind the jama'ah, and is it wajib?
Tayyib, the 5 salawats, obviously the 5 salawat themselves are fard. They're obligatory upon every Muslim, and tarku salah faqad kafar is enough of a warning for us to be consistent on our salawat. Is it wajib in jama'ah? If you live close enough to a masjid that you can hear the adhan without a speaker, meaning without a speaker system. If somebody was to give adhan with their strong voice, and you live close enough to the masjid that you could hear the adhan, then it's wajib. Then it's obligatory for you to pray in the masjid. If you live further from that, like you're far away where you would not hear the adhan, then it's mustahab. It's still a highly emphasized sunnah to pray in the masjid as much as you can. For men. For women, they can pray in the masjid, but their salah at home is better. But if there is some benefit like a dars going on and so on, then it's better for them to come. Dr. Sir, sorry, I got to give preference.
I have a question. Last night, one of our Sheikh, I believe his name is Sheikh Mubasha, he mentioned something about giving zakat. And he said people send money overseas instead of giving it to very poor people living under the freeways and this and that. In which I think it does not mean that to encourage them to Islam. Just simply there are people living under the bridges. Give zakat to those people instead of sending it overseas.
Good question. Since he's going to be here later, I'll let him explain his own. He's here? I'll let him explain his niyyah. But the general rule, I think, is that if there are people that are in the Sharia, mustahiq, they meet the qualifications of zakat in your locality, then they have the most right upon you, right? But if there are not, like if there are people in your area that do not meet those requirements, then to send it out to other areas is perfectly acceptable. The brothers here, because we said that. Yes.
My wife actually had a question. She asked if women can wear gloves with their niqab.
Women can definitely wear gloves with their niqab. They don't have to wear gloves, but it's good for them to cover their hands, even if it's with the cloth or so on. So they wear gloves, nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to expand a bit on the question earlier in terms of fatwa and things like that, with more like contemporary issues that was not present in the Prophet's time. If there is a difference of opinion, say hypothetically like machine slaughter needs to be
Sure.
If there's a difference of opinion, do we take precedence over one over the other?
Good question. When there is khilaf of ulama on a mas'ala where there is not a sarih daleel, like an explicit qat'i or clear explicit daleel, what do we give precedence? Even when there is a new issue, like machine slaughter and hand slaughter and so on, the ulama of Islam will utilize the principles of qiyas. And they will use the evidence to give their answer. So here, the evidence will still give you the stronger from the weaker answer. Right? In the long run, everybody needs a sheikh. Unfortunately, nowadays it's very hard to get. And if you have a good sheikh who has adillah, evidences, then the best thing for awam to go to their shiur. Right? But if the shiur are doing something that's against adillah, they're telling you eat at Burger King or whatever like this, then obviously we cannot take those opinions because they go against the evidence. Nobody's qawl should be taken above that of the Quran and Sunnah. Yes? If there are two ulama and they give two different opinions, then obviously look at the evidences. Even in things that are new, people, like for a machine slaughter, some of the machine slaughter, what they do is they turn it on, say Bismillah, and they leave it. They're not there all day, right? Now what happens, the machine's going and the chicken going, nobody's saying Bismillah, nobody's checking. Some chickens are going the whole head, some are chopping the whole thing off. How can this be considered okay? Right? On the other hand, as Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen said, that if it's machine, meaning it's a person operating a knife saying Bismillah, even on a bat, then it's permissible. Why? He gave evidence. He said this is like the one who's hunting. Right? So even the new issues, ulama don't just make up answers. They look at evidences and make qiyas, and looking at that evidence will know the strong from weak. So those there is
But it was permissible for someone working at jobs like Uber Eats or stuff like that, where they're delivering.
In Uber Eats and so on, because they have pork, because they have haram meat, they have, I think some of them even have alcohol and so on, that would not be permissible. Right? If the food was all halal and good and clean and all that, then it would be fine.
Okay, I'm asking very beneficial question. It is very important.
Inshallah, all questions are important.
Right? So that question is how, you know, we have enough Satan, they are finding us, enough the Ultra is commanding you something bad, and also Satan is there, he's supporting yourself with to do something bad sin. So I'm asking you how to be successful from yourself and Satan.
Say, how to protect yourself from your nafs and shaitan?
Yeah, how to be successful from them.
Huh?
How to trap them, how to be successful from Satan and your nafs.
How to protect yourself?
How to trap them, yeah.
How to trap them?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really trap shaitan. I think he's a pretty crafty guy.
The morning when you want to wake up for Fajr, they tell you to go back to bed.
Right, when you wake up for Fajr, shaitan does tell you to go back to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a mouse trap for shaitan, if that's what you're looking for. Like where you put like some cheese, you put like a good book inside, and I got you, know. But you can protect yourself from shaitan with first and foremost your adhkar, right? When you make your adhkar in the day and the night, if you read Ayatul Kursi, for example, before going to sleep, if you make your adhkar after salah, if you make your adhkar and so forth, and you make your adhkar that are related to protection from shaitan and his waswas, and so on. Secondly, by reading the Quran. Of course, the Quran is something that is a protection, making your salah on time, in jama'ah, being with good friends, all those ways will protect you from shaitan, iblis, and the shayateen, from ins and jinn, and so on. So dedicate yourself to those Islamic activities and you will be fine, inshallah. Let me take the sisters, we give precedence to sisters' questions. So, can a person wear jerseys with athletes' names on the back of the shirt? That's a good question. You know, I saw some fatwa online about this, and I spoke to a couple of scholars myself in other countries who I respect. So there are some situations. One is you just buy a jersey and it has a name, you don't really care about the name, you just got it, and the name doesn't have like a bad meaning, it's not something that represents a different religion. Here, this permissible mubah, right? But if the name is of a particular kafir and it brings love and respect and a connection between you and that kafir, and it leads you towards respecting ta'aleem or honoring the kuffar over the Muslims, then it would not be permissible, right? We don't want to say not permissible because somebody may go to the store and they, mashallah, they got 50% off on a jersey and they just buy it and whatever it says, you know, as long as nothing haram, like no cross or no like nothing haram on it, then it's mubah. But if somebody's like, I love, I'm old, I'm going to say Michael Jordan here, so, right? It's Jordan, and then they want to get a jersey that says Jordan, and then they want to put a poster of Jordan and stuff, you know, then it starts to take you down that slippery slope where you start to give honor to fusaq and fujar and things like this, and Allah protect us from those things. Say, when reciting Surah Al-Fatiha in Salah, can one split the last ayah by taking a pause? Yes. So in the Quran, I'll leave these type of questions to Shaykh Akasha. He's definitely more qualified than me in this. But the general rule is that you can stop in the Quran in places where it's permissible to stop, where there is no hukam that you have to continue. And in the Musahif you will find the qalli and salli and all those things that give you rulings where you can stop, where you cannot stop, where it's better to continue but jayz to stop, where it's jayz to continue and better to stop. And this is why when you sit with the ulama and you learn tajweed and Quran recitation and those rules, they will explain it. But generally, in places where it does not affect the meaning and it is permissible, you can stop even if it's in the middle of an ayah.